Yeah. No, definitely that's on the higher end. I mean, typically what I've seen in terms of weight loss in all these years, like in this time frame, it's typically been actually the between 2 and 7 kilograms. So you're on the end, but the majority of people are like in the middle or towards the slower end. Usually the when we see a lot of weight loss, it's if there's more to lose to start with. Like if you're closer to your ideal weight, the weight isn't even going to be slower, because for many women, what in your mind is your ideal weight is not what the body thinks is your ideal weight. Like your body can be perfectly happy where it's at. You feel like it should be a specific number. So the body's not in any rush to lose weight when you're literally very close to what is your ideal weight. Obviously, when there's more to lose, what that also means there's a lot more water retention, and that the body just has to, and water retention is there when we see a lot of inflammation. So when you see a lot of weight loss, it's because there was a lot of inflammation that was holding on to water and basically flushed out all of that inflammation with all of that water. So amazing.
I had the size of a tennis ball, my legs and in my face was swelling the size of a tennis ball. Can you imagine?
Yes.
All this was inflammation. I had so much water retention, I guess.
Yeah. So it's so important, because until we can get rid of the inflammation and the water retention, the next step after that is healing, right? So like you've gotten rid of, there's the toxins. We're never really ever going to be 100% rid of toxins ever, right? Just living in this modern world. But to get sort of a first push, like a first get it out of there, so that the healing can start to happen. So that's really important. That's really good. Amazing. Nohir, you have a quick question for me before we start? Please unmute yourself if you do.
I'm sorry. The system we're eating now, this is going to be lifetime healing time, right?
Yes.
It's a lifetime system. Lifetime. And so we're like, yes, a lifetime, like we are healing all the time, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You're healing all the time. You're in the process of healing all the time. That doesn't necessarily mean you're actually healing all the time. So sometimes what typically happens with this process is you're going to heal and then you're going to regress a little bit. You're going to heal and then you're going to regress a little bit. That's just how healing happens. So there's going to be periods of time when you're feeling amazing and you're feeling great and there's no symptoms, but then there's going to be times potentially where you get a flare up or something comes back unexpectedly. That doesn't mean you're not healing. That just means that the body keeps going deeper into layers of detoxing. So it is a generalized lifestyle way of living, but expect ups and downs on this journey.
When I cooked the salmon, it was in the fridge before I started this program. So I used barbecue sauce and some other herbs and some other not herbs, not healthy stuff. I don't know what make them make me so tired from. I felt bad afterwards.
Okay.
So I don't know, it's the salmon or the way I cooked it. I don't know, but it wasn't a nice feeling that my kidney, I felt hurt. It's not as normal like before, but I felt something wrong in it. Something wrong in my body.
You mentioned barbecue sauce. So is that like barbecue sauce you bought from a supermarket?
Yeah, sure. I had it in the fridge and I cooked it before. So
right. Okay. So
I don't know what's wrong. All these things that I know. I knew that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So with all of these sauces, ready-made sauces, barbecue sauces, salad dressings, like any of these sauces you buy ready, commercially made, they're going to have sugar. Number one, there's always added sugar. They are going to have additives and artificial flavors. Many of them have hidden gluten in them to thicken it, right? So without knowing, you added all of these things. So it's not the salmon, it's not the plain piece of salmon that's necessarily the problem here. I'm going to go with the barbecue sauce.
And I found out this, I remembered how I cooked it. So that's why I will try another time salmon like a proper way with plain, and then I will check what's wrong with me.
Exactly.
Okay.
exactly.
And what about the bread? The bread is a problem.
Bread like wheat, dairy, processed sugar, wheat, corn, soy, genetically modified. These are the most highly inflammatory foods, like so incredibly processed, so incredibly artificial, created in a lab these days, have nothing to do with the original. Our body can't recognize it. Our body can't process it. Wheat is made with gluten. Gluten is a protein our body literally can't break down. So think of gluten sort of like, or think of the protein in animals, right? The protein that our body does recognize. Imagine that as sort of like a string of pearls. And when you consume it, your body knows how to like de-string the pearls easily and break it down and digest it. Gluten, it's a type of protein that our body doesn't recognize. Imagine you have a pearl necklace, but the pearls are in clusters. Cluster, 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 cluster. And then you consume that, the body doesn't know how to detangle these clusters. They go into your digestive system. They scratch the inside of your intestines, creating something called leaky gut. And then, there's a downstream of symptoms there then that can lead to autoimmune, the hormonal imbalances, all sorts of things that gluten can cause because our bodies just can't break it down. In addition to all of these processed carbohydrates that are made with wheat turn into sugar in your body, and the toxic sugar that can then also lead to insulin resistance, prediabetes, diabetes, as well as more hormonal imbalance and issues with cortisol. So and when I say, how have these foods served you before? This is now when you can look back, now that you've taken these foods out, and you can start to trace back and think like, how often was I eating this food? And no wonder I was feeling this way. And do I want to go back to feeling how I felt 3 weeks ago, a month ago? Like, do you really want to go back to that? You put in all this effort now. If you're feeling like a craving come up, it's not a physical craving anymore. That's it. It only takes 5 days to get rid of toxins out of your body, even as something as strong a toxin as like when you smoke. 5 days to get that addiction out of your body. So it's out of your body. Whatever cravings you're having now is a mental and emotional process. But like I told you, when it comes up, don't fight it. It's part of the process. Go and have it. Go and have your bread. Go and have your cheese. Go and have whatever it is you're craving and actually see how your body reacts to it. Like having that physical proof, having that physical experience is going to be what's going to motivate you to go back to eating in a way that doesn't give you any symptoms. It's what's going to push you. It's basically what's going to be that force that's going to always remind you that, right, my body really doesn't do well with these foods. And my body goes back, and your body's now are going to, because you've cleared out the toxins, they're going to be really quick to recognize a toxin when you consume it. So it might be really quick to show you a symptom, which is amazing, which just shows you just how strong and capable your body is. But you're going to use that. You need that experience. And I told you, all of you, it's not a question of if you're going to go and have something that's inflammatory. It's only a question of when. So go and have it, and let's see what your experience is. And let's see if you still miss it or love it or want it as much as you think you do.
My question is there any possible, Nana, we use مثلا millet flour or any kind of bran flour?
So there is for bread substitutions. I think I told you guys this yesterday. Since bread is not an essential food, it's not like, for example, when we remove dairy, and the belief is that dairy is important because it's got calcium. So we have to make sure there's another source of calcium, because yes, calcium is essential for the body. So when you remove milk and cheese and yogurt, and those have been predominantly your main sources of calcium before, and you remove them, then yeah, we have to make sure that you're getting another source of calcium. With bread, it wasn't giving you anything anyway. There's nothing that we need to, because we removed it, then we have to replace it with something. Zero. It wasn't giving you anything. So again, the only reason you want a replacement, and this is just, this is just part of how you're becoming empowered in this process, is to understand the only reason you want a replacement is not because there's a deficiency that we're trying to make sure you're not deficient in, like with calcium. The only reason you want it, again, is an emotional attachment to it. So when and if you go and choose a replacement for bread, you want to make sure that it's made with almond flour, coconut flour. There's some made with lentil flour, chickpea flour. You want it to be as simply made as possible. So like 2 or 3 ingredients maximum. So whatever flour, the replacement for wheat, and it'll probably have like water, and it might have like honey. It might have maybe like a starch, like potato starch or something like just to give it substance or whatever it is that they need to make. But you don't want to go, because there's a lot of gluten-free options out there that have a lot of chemicals. Because what is gluten? Gluten is what makes bread gooey. You know how when you take a piece of bread apart and it's like and you chew it and it feels soft and gooey? That's from the gluten. So when they take that out, they have to, the bread becomes really, if you've ever seen a gluten-free piece of bread, it's like hard. It's not as soft and mushy as regular bread. So they have to replace that with something. And typically they do that with stabilizers, additives, you name it. So when you feel like you want to have some bread and you want to go out and find a bread replacement, make sure it's got minimal ingredients on it. Again, it's not going to be something you're going to consume regularly. It's still a processed food. It's still dry, dead and dumb carbohydrate, still has 0 nutrients in it, will do nothing for your body. So just take that into consideration as you move forward. All right, let us talk today. Today we have a longer class as needed, because tomorrow we don't have a class. Today's actually our last teaching class. And then next Wednesday, we're going to have our celebration class. So I want to cover adaptogens and essential oils today. See if you have any questions about those. Again, all the information is in your guide. And then I'm going to open it up for you guys to, bring in all your questions, because that's what this last week is for, to really, wrap things up for you, bring in any loose ends that you might still have while we are still together, while we are still in community together. But let's go through adaptogens and essential oils first. So yesterday we talked about vitamins, supplements, and vitamins are either supplements are either vitamins or they're minerals. And even though we say they're supplements because you have to first create the food foundation, they're important. When you're deficient in a specific vitamin or in a specific mineral, your body is going to suffer as a result. There's going to be a corresponding symptom to that. So that's why we have to fill in some gaps with supplements. When it comes to adaptogens and things we call superfoods like spirulina or maca, these are not essential. So you might be deficient in zinc, you might be deficient in magnesium. You're never really going to be deficient in maca. You're not going to be deficient in spirulina. So the main difference between supplements and the superfoods and adaptogens is that the supplements are important because they fill in a gap of an important essential deficiency you might have that is affecting your health. The superfoods and the adaptogens they're like a supplement to the supplement. They're like, if you've done the food, you've added in the supplements, and you really just want an extra boost in something very specific, you might take an adaptogen or a superfood. They are not essential. So I don't want you to feel like, oh my God, now we're doing all these supplements and now I have to go and buy maca and go and buy spirulina and go and buy all these things. No, these are optional. And when and if you feel like you want to add them in, then you add them in. They are not, yes, they contain vitamins and minerals also, but they're not vitamins and minerals that you can't get in your basic supplements. And they're there to sort of boost your health when you've really, really been working on your health for a while and you've boosted it to a certain level and you're ready to take it to an even higher level. Or I would recommend them as essential if you're doing all the food 100%, you've been doing it for a few months, you've added in your basic supplements, and we still see that something is missing. Then I would say a superfood or adaptogen is essential. So just go through and read through those. I would say if you want to start with a superfood or adaptogen, the superfoods also are ones that are like supplements you can start with right away, and like supplements you can mix them together right away. There's no problem with that. So you can mix your spirulina with your maca, with your barley grass, no problem. You can go and see which one sort of suits you best, and you can go ahead and add those at the same time as your supplements. That's not a problem. With the adaptogens, the reason they're called adaptogens is because unlike vitamins or minerals or even the superfoods, your body doesn't quite react to them or give you the result that you want as fast. That's why they're called adaptogens. It takes your body time to adapt to how it wants to process and how it wants to use this particular adaptogen. And these are very, very specific, right? So there's an adaptogen just for stress. And you would see if you need that. And that's going to help you specifically if stress is your issue. Adaptogens are not to be taken like more than one adaptogen at once to start. So if you feel like you need one of the adaptogens, you're going to choose one and one only. You're going to start taking it, start using it. When you start to feel the effects of that adaptogen on your body, when you start to feel the results, and then you feel like there's another one you want to add on, maybe 2 months down the line, you would add them. When you take it, you can mix it with your vitamins and your other superfoods, not a problem, but you don't want to start off mixing 2 or more adaptogens together. Like I said, it's because of the way the body processes them. It's much more effective. Like, it's not dangerous. Nothing's going to happen to you if you go and mix any. So don't panic like that. But I'm talking in terms of how efficient they are and how the body is going to make use of them, one adaptogen at a time. Okay? Basic, like, it's not very complicated information when it comes to that. Essential oils then are a whole completely different category. So if supplements, superfoods, and adaptogens are the ways that you sort of plug in gaps in terms of nutritional deficiencies, essential oils are your new medicine cabinet. Let's put it that way. So essential oils come from plants, straight from plants, like literally extracted from the plant. They are the most potent form of the plant, and they are medicinal. You literally have an essential oil for every single ailment that you could think of. I didn't put them all in your guide because you don't need them all. I've just provided a few blends that are key and that can help you with some of the hormonal, symptoms, struggles that you might be having, like a hot flash, like cravings. We've used the lavender and the peppermint already for headaches, for sore throat, for aches and pains. Very, very gradually, when you get into essential oils, you're going to see and you're going to recognize how they work for you, and there's like a whole world out there of essential oils that you can use. The most important thing I can tell you about essential oils, again, like adaptogens and like all the other things, is not to jump in all at once. I know it happened to me and happened to lots of other people. You get really excited, like, give me all the oils and I'm going to use this one for a headache and this one for a toothache and this one for a stomach ache and this one for menstrual cramps and this one for, there's like an oil for everything, and they work. But you want to move into this very, very slowly. And with essential oils, very, very rarely will you see a reaction, but you still have to be smart about how you use them. The thing with essential oils, always, 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 when you're purchasing essential oils, is to make sure they are a therapeutic grade. So you're going to find, like, everybody's making essential oils these days, like everybody's selling essential oils. In order for it to be effective and safe, it needs to be labeled as a therapeutic grade. Some essential oils are safe for consumption, like you can put a drop in a glass of water and drink it. Never do that unless you are 100% sure that it is therapeutic grade. Those are the only ones that can be consumed orally. If you are outside of Egypt and you want to order, those would be doTERRA, one of the highest quality ones. Those are all 100% therapeutic grade. doTERRA and another brand called Young Living. The Black Lotus and Arij Aromatherapy, some of them they claim are therapeutic grade. I can't vouch for that, so I don't know. I've consumed the doTERRA ones orally, different ones. And I know that they are 100% safe. I have not done that with any of the local brands. So with the local brands, just to be on the safe side, don't consume them orally. Just use them on your skin. Anytime you're using any oil, whether local or international, do not apply essential oil directly on your skin. It can irritate. And then the way to make sure that the essential oil is being actually absorbed by your skin more effectively, you do need what we call the carrier oil. So coconut oil, olive oil, that's how it's called a carrier oil, because it takes the oil from the surface of your skin and inside deep to be absorbed into your cells to give you the result that you want. So take some time to look through those, take a look at the blends. To make the blends, it's, super easy. You can find on Amazon those roller, sort of glass roller, what are they called? Containers. And you just make the mix that you want, experiment with it. If you feel good, remember that essential oils, unlike medicine, you don't have to wait for a dose. So let's say you have a hot flash and you apply the blend for hot flashes, and then you feel better, it goes away. And then let's say 5 hours later, you get another hot flash. You go ahead and use it again, right? Like how we use the lavender peppermint. You have a headache, you use it, and then it fades, apply it again. It's perfectly safe to do that. So just remember, therapeutic grade, don't apply on your skin without a carrier oil, and don't consume unless they are doTERRA or Young Living brands, or you are 100% sure they are therapeutic grade. Any questions? Let me see, there's a question here. Nora, any modifications if you are pregnant? I'm guessing you mean for the program. Did I answer this on the group for you, Nora, or was it somebody else? If you've never detoxed before in your life, somebody has never ever done a detox, and then they get pregnant, that's not the time to start detoxing. Like, don't. You might adjust, you might do clean eating, you might remove the highly processed foods and the sugar, that's fine. But pregnancy and nursing, if you've never detoxed before, is not the time to start. If you have been detoxing, like you ladies, and you're are doing it for many, many months, it's become your lifestyle, and then you become pregnant, you keep going. You don't change anything. I wouldn't recommend necessarily doing the 9-day deep detox right when you're pregnant, but if you are clean eating and 98% of the time you're wheat, dairy, sugar, processed food free, and all of that free, you keep going, because that's not just going to be good for your pregnancy, you're setting up your baby for health. I mean, they have found now, when a newborn babies are born, they find upwards of 200 chemicals in the baby's umbilical cord already, and the baby hasn't even just come out into the world. Already it's got toxins in it. So if you're going to get pregnant, let's say in a few months, plan for that. There's something called trimester 0 that I've been reading about for the past while, which is basically you spend the 3 months before getting pregnant prepping your body for pregnancy. And that would mean definitely detoxing, removing the toxins, removing the inflammatory foods, creating that environment that is going to set you up for an easier, better, healthier pregnancy, but also set up your baby to enter the world with fewer toxins. Sally, go ahead.
Hi, Dana.
Hi,
Unfortunately, I missed you yesterday. I missed the session. I was so tired. I went out. I couldn't access again. So with the vitamins and all what you've been saying now, for me, I should start when? I'm not sure. I'm confused now.
Everybody should start with the vitamins right now. Like everybody, now that we've gone through a 9-day cycle, we just needed like an initial cycle where the body is clear. And if you weren't here, I don't know if you weren't here yesterday, Sally, because I was saying the main issue with the supplements and why they overload the liver is because of all the added ingredients in the supplement. So let's say you go and get a vitamin D supplement or a magnesium supplement. It's just supposed to be in the list of ingredients, vitamin D or magnesium or vitamin C. But if you look at your list of ingredients for the 99.9% of supplements on the market worldwide, you're going to see gelatin, rice starch, potato starch, magnesium stearate, soy, corn. You're going to see all these other things that, like, why are these things in my supplement? And the reason they're in the supplement is because they fill up the supplement to make it cheaper. So, and this is what overloads the liver, not the actual vitamin or the actual mineral, which is actually a very small part of the capsule that you're taking. So that's why we had to remove them as part of the detoxing process to give your liver a break from these. And that's why now moving forward, you're going to choose supplements of higher grade with, as the brands I've shared with you in your guide, these have no fillers, no chemicals, nothing. Like, you could just go and order from them blindly. But I realize not everybody has access to those. So your second option, your next best option after that, is to choose brands that have the fewest amount of additives in your supplement. So if it's just magnesium, it might have magnesium and maybe, like, I don't know, like a starch, maybe, but, or like one other filler, right? But those ones where you see you're just buying a magnesium supplement and it's magnesium and then like 6 other things, that's the one that we want to avoid.
Okay. Dana, so please, can you help me with the vitamins? Yeah, I'm not reading much now because of my eyes and headache. If you just post it for me, my son can get it. Do you think I can wait another week until I start? Well, it will affect me.
Yes. I also mentioned yesterday, like, it's something that you're going to, especially if you know you can get a better grade, better quality in next month or in 2 months, wait on it. I would rather, like, it is not, you're getting already incredible amounts of vitamins, minerals just from the food that you're eating. Nothing is going to happen to you if you go for a month or 2 without your supplements at all.
Okay.
So if you know you're getting a higher quality or you have access to a higher quality, then don't take anything and wait to get the good ones.
Okay, and for me, for the autoimmune, do you think for the calcium and D, there is more of concentration in certain items in my fruits and vegetables I can focus with to make sure that I'm taking enough, beside the sun, of course?
You're taking calcium, you're taking calcium from all the leafy greens. You can start to add, a great source of calcium is tahina, wonderful source of calcium.
Yeah, I loved it when I tried it. Yes.
Yeah, you take that. Vitamin D, is that what you said? Vitamin D, the other one?
Yeah, I have to take 1,000 a day.
Yeah, vitamin D, get in the sun. Get in the sun. This is your best source of vitamin D, which is early morning, 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Get yourself in the sun for 30 minutes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dana. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Inji, go ahead.
Yes, hello, Dana. I was wondering, I was wondering about the supplements. If we don't have access to a good quality supplement, and I'm sure we all have now supplements at home that we used to take,
yes,
would it help if we take one at a time? Like, for example, I was taking magnesium, omega-3, and so on. Would it help if I take just magnesium for now, and then 3 months after I take another one? And would that be better than taking everything?
Yes, you can definitely, if you go look at the ones you have at home and they're all the ones filled with additives and fillers and all of that, you can definitely, to lessen the load off your liver, just focus on one at a time. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Let me check the Q&A. No. Any other questions, ladies? Sally, go ahead.
I can't believe this is the last session.
I know.
Yeah, we need for you to do something for us. I'm joining in Jan, but like a class or something for people who are more interested to learn and keep on the momentum, With you, it's very different. We need this. I think we have a group already discussing this on your wall.
Yes.
But we need a support group. If you don't have time for this now, even a class like the one you're offering
yes.
3rd of December.
Yes.
We need just one or two until Jan, because it's really for me now.
Jan. Well, here's the thing. Yes, it went by so fast. I don't think you were here at the very beginning of this call. We were saying how crazy fast the time goes. It flew. Like, this is our 3rd week. Like, we're finishing our 3rd week together. So it does go by very fast. But you know what they say, like, what? good times fly fast, or good times fly, or fun, or something about fun. When it's fun, it goes by quickly, right? So that's amazing that you're joining in January, and I recommend everybody continue do this, because you can have, you know, you have the plan now, you have the information, but nobody gets everything the first time round. Nobody gets it all the first time round. And then, as you said, you need the support. Obviously, the thing is, I don't work in December. That's the only thing. So I take December off with my family. We go on vacation. So that's the only reason I don't work in December. Otherwise, we would have a December class, December round. So think about how you want to move forward, and definitely join January, because January is also going to be coming out of the vacations, and we all know what's going to happen in vacations. Like it's just natural. But when you join a second time, you do get a bonus class. So the ladies who repeat, I don't know if you noticed. So there was a few ladies who repeated from last month, and a couple of them who were there from the month before. When you repeat, I do give you a special separate bonus call during the program. So in addition to this daily call, you have one bonus call just for the ladies who are repeating, because when you repeated, when you've gone through the program once, you're going to have a slightly different set of questions than the ladies who are going through the process for the first time. So I do take that into account during every round of the program, that the ladies who are repeating do get more individuals, you know, because they're fewer. So naturally, when we have our call, there's only like maybe 3 or 4 ladies at a time, and you can get a little bit more personalized attention, and you can ask the questions that of things that you're experiencing, whether physically or emotionally or mentally, having had taken the program already once. So that is what I currently offer. I can't do anything else in December because, like I said, I'm traveling tomorrow. I'm still working until December 15th. I'm still working. I'm still available to answer emails, to answer messages. But from December 15th to January 3rd, I will disappear. I will not be anywhere. So, but I will take that into consideration, because I have had a few questions about sort of like the alumni from these groups, like what happens if you don't want to join another group, if you don't want to join another round. So something for me to think about, and if I come up with a solution, I will definitely let you know. But thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Noher, go ahead.
I take ginkgo biloba for memory. So what
That's
shall I
fine.
do?
That's fine. You can keep that. That's fine.
Even if it's not, I take it from the shelves from United States. I think nature's something.
Check the ingredients. If you're not sure, snap a photo of the list of ingredients and share it with me, and I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Inji, is that you again?
Yes, it's me again, but I just had a suggestion about what you were just saying, because I thought of it honestly. Why don't you make a group for all the people who joined your programs before on Facebook, and make it a closed group? So you'll be the admin to make the people enter, actually, or to allow them to enter. And so this group can interact, you know. Also, you don't have to be like answering stuff or so on, but
Yep.
I think a support group for everybody, so we can talk together, share our experience, what happened, and so on. And this group will be a closed group for you on Facebook for everybody who joined you at one point. So
Yes.
so why not think about that?
I will think about that. Definitely. I will think about that. Thank you. I'm writing it down.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Nahla.
Hi, Dana, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. Dana, about the group, I heard that the group that we are on now, you're gonna close it by Sunday, right?
Yeah, all the groups, once you're complete, once you've completed 28 days, I close the Facebook group. So the group will close, but so if you need to copy anything from the group, if you want to download any of the photos, if you want to copy paste any of the conversations, any of the threads, anything like that, make sure to do that between today and December 11th. That's a Sunday, should be December 11th. But you're going to get a link for all these videos and you have access to that like
Yeah.
indefinitely.
No, my point is, I was trying to understand, why don't you just leave it without stop posting and leave it as it is, so we can go back for reference.
Because then I will have something like, if I would have done that with all the groups, I'm going to have something like over 100 groups open on my Facebook management page. That's why.
No, but this you will not manage anymore, because it will be just
but
like
it's there, right? It's
but
there,
nobody can
so,
post anything.
Yeah.
It's there.
It's not realistic. Like if I ran like one group a year or something, yeah, okay, I could do that. But I run one group every month. I do it at least 9 or 10 months of the year. So no, that's not realistic. No. To have all those groups. I can't do it for one group and not do it for another group. So basically end up with all these groups. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, because it will be very difficult to capture all whatever was there now, especially now where we are busy with the program and cooking and juicing, and so we don't have time to.
Yeah, think about what were the conversations or the subject matter that you felt mattered to you the most, or made a like a big difference to you the most. And the easiest way then to go back and find that, like I said, is use the little magnifying search option.
Yeah.
You know, type in the main word, like if it was stress, or if it was gluten, or if it was flax seeds, or if it was, you know, whatever it was, type that in, and then you're going to, everything that we talked about relating to that is going to show up for you. Every single post, every single thread, every single comment. And then at least you'll have it all, you know, in one place. Like you don't have to scroll the whole page, the whole group to find the one little thing you wanted. At least it'll be a little bit more compact. And then you can just, the easiest thing is just to take a screenshot of everything. That's the, instead of even like copy pasting, screenshots, and just save it as a screenshot.
Okay. Yeah, but okay. But this is okay. It can be an option, but it's not a flexible one. Yeah.
You take it and, you know, and file it away, you know, file it away wherever, you know, you'll have easy access to it, because not everything and not every conversation in the group mattered to everybody. Like some conversations were more significant to others, some conversations were more impactful for others. So really, you know, and some conversations were repeated, some things were just easy questions that the answers are already in your guide. So really think about the things that, you know, are not in your guide to start with, and things that really made a difference to you and you want to remember, and that will narrow down the whole process for you.
Okay. I have one question regarding the juicing day.
Yeah.
Can we do this juicing day like for 3 days after each other?
Yeah. Yes.
There is no issue. Yeah.
No, there's no issue.
Actually, and the juicing day, I like it very much. We have no issue with it at all.
Yeah, the juicing days.
I like the apple, the cucumber, celery, all this. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I am facing problem with eating the vegetables every day like that. Yeah, maybe a soup, it's fine. But to eat vegetables every day, oh my God.
I mean, it's important to eat. I mean, remember this, right? We have teeth for a reason. So we can, like, I've done a 28-day juice cleanse, nothing but juices for 28 days. And it feels amazing. And I have to say, it's in terms of preparation, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier than
preparing,
right? A lot easier. But we're not meant to live on liquids. Like we have teeth for a reason, right? We're meant to. And the reason, and then especially when it comes to hormones, those vegetables, the leafy greens, all of that are really, really important for the hormones. So yes, you can do 3 days out of every week if you want to, right? Like the thing with juicing is facilitates faster healing, because the body has to do less work in order to absorb all the vitamins and the nutrients and everything. So it gives your digestive system a break. Yeah. So you can definitely do that if you want a break from preparation, if you want to speed up your healing process, by all means, yes, you can do that.
So for example, because I have 2 days that I will not be at home and it will be very difficult for me to manage the program. So I can go like clean eating for these 2 days and then 3 days juicing after that.
Yeah.
So this was recover, right?
Oh, of course. I mean, a lot of times what I do, but not when it's this cold, many days I will do just juicing the whole day. Like I'll have, celery smoothie in the morning. I'll have another juicer smoothie at noon. I'll have another juice like at 3, like the whole day. And then just my last meal will be like salmon or vegetables or just vegetables. So that's also another rhythm you could get yourself into. But there's like, you never have to worry about incorporating more smoothies or more juices into your daily routine. No.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much, Dana.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Welcome. Hang on, let me look at the Q&As. Please keep our Facebook group. No. Marianne, I'm not sure if you mentioned ashwagandha. Hi, Marianne. I mentioned adaptogens, and ashwagandha is an adaptogen. So and that one is specifically for stress. So if you're going to choose an adaptogen, what the main thing to understand about adaptogens is to only choose one at a time, only incorporate one into your routine at a time. And until your body starts to benefit from it and start to make use of it, typically a month to 2 months, then you can add another adaptogen. So unlike the vitamins that you can just take all of them, you can take 6 vitamins at the same time. You can start that tomorrow if you want. And unlike the superfoods like spirulina or maca, you can also take those at the same time along with your vitamins. Adaptogens, just the way that they're formulated and the way the body responds to them, only choose one at a time. That's the most important thing to know. Nora, 6-month annual membership fee. Oh, that's an idea. That is an idea. Okay, lots of things to consider. Inji, can you please share the page stories of the success stories you told? I just did that this morning, Inji, like literally a couple of hours ago. I posted it in the group. I will tag you if you missed it. Rania, maybe you can leave the Facebook group. You guys are too funny. No, I can't leave the group. Is it okay if we eat less? Sometimes I'm unable to consume a big vegetable portion every day. All right, so if you've reached a point now that you are understanding your body, now that the major cravings are gone, now that you are in control of what you eat, you are moving into early stages of what we call mindful eating, right? Mindful eating is not just you, oh, I feel like having a pizza now, so I'm going to go have it, which is, I see women will come up to me and they'll say, I really want to do your program. So they haven't done my program ever. I really want to do your program. I really want to, change how I eat, but I can't do it right now. But in the meantime, I'm just doing mindful eating. And so, and so if I just feel like having, a piece of bread and cheese, I just have it. Like I just go with the flow. I just go with what my body's telling me. So no, it doesn't work that way. You can't go into true mindful eating without first having created the right baseline for yourself, right? If your body is still biochemically addicted and controlled by sugar and junk and caffeine, it is never going to be mindful eating, because that's not you being mindful. That's your body dictating and the addictions dictating what you're going to eat. So now what you ladies have done, you're getting into the first stages of true mindful eating, where if you decide to go and have a pizza or a piece of cake or whatever, you're making a conscious decision. It's not your craving controlling you. It's not you completely being without willpower. It's not you caving in. It's not pressure. It might feel like it a little bit because it's a new process, but it is no longer only the biochemical addiction in charge. So you can never do mindful eating when the addictions are still there. So now that you've gotten to this place, part of that is also thinking about how much do I want to eat? So if you're regularly eating your vegetables and regularly optimizing your nutrient intake, and then one day you just feel like, I don't even want to eat today, period. Maybe and it happens. There might be days where you don't want to eat at all. You follow that instinct. You've gotten to a place where your instincts are the right ones. You're getting to a place where the signals that your body is giving you are the correct ones. Before, you were getting hunger signals and craving signals, and they were all the addictions trying to say, right, give me more sugar, give me more caffeine. And you didn't know how to interpret them. Now that we got rid of the addictions, you can become very, very clever at interpreting. So yes, if you feel like one day, I really can't eat all of this, or I really can't eat this morning at all. Like I woke up and I'm just I know celery is good for me, and I know that the smoothie is really good for me, but I truly don't want to put anything in my body today. And it's not like you're forcing it. We're never forcing anything anymore. Then you listen to that signal and you follow it. If something becomes a pattern, so let's say you decide like one day, I really don't feel like having breakfast today. I'm just, for whatever reason, I've woken up and I just feel blocked, or I just feel full, or I just feel like food is the last thing on my mind. If it's a one-off, we never worry about one-offs. Remember, things that happen once, pain, discomfort, something that happens once, we don't worry about it. If it becomes a pattern, then that's when you want to reevaluate. Why am I waking up every morning and I don't want breakfast? Why am I looking at my vegetables every single day and not wanting to eat them? Is it because there's something, this is where there's usually something emotional going on. But in terms of listening to the signal, I don't need all of this today. I need more today, because that signal will also give you that, no, I need a lot more than I usually have. You follow that signal too. Does that make sense? Nuran, does that answer your question? And does it make sense to all of you? Because this applies to all of you.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
I wanted to double check if so our recommended portion is 1 kilogram of vegetables a day and 4 cups of leafy greens, right?
No, that includes the 4 cups. So like 4 to 8 cups of the greens and the vegetables together. Yeah.
Okay. And the salad.
Yes.
So yeah, okay, great.
Okay.
Cool.
Marianne,
Thank
do you recommend, you're welcome. Do you recommend adaptogens for children? I mean, with children's, let me look that up. I'm not sure if there's an age limit. There might be an age limit. I'm not sure. Let me look that up. But again, with kids, before you think of vitamins, supplements, nothing, like don't think of anything until you've created a new foundation for them first. That's always where your focus is going to be. And Marianne, please remind me if I don't get back to you to look that up for you. Nuran, okay, we answered that already. All right. Inji, Sally, and Nuhair, are these new questions or you forgot your hands up?
Yes, new questions.
Go ahead.
Okay, because we're just talking about addiction. Can we be addicted at one of the healthy foods? Like, can I say I'm addicted to dates if I want to eat dates all the time, for example? Because now I'm worried about, because I use dates like my sweet or my treat.
Yeah.
I'm worried of like developing a new addiction of, instead of eating my chocolate or my nuts or whatever, is I have to have my dates. I don't want this feeling, or I don't want this to happen, or I want to have my banana, my apple. I don't know. It won't happen with vegetables, but it can happen with fruits.
It can happen with the fruits. Of course, it can happen. It usually will happen with the fruits because they're sugar, right? But I want you to think like, okay, so it used to be chocolate or it used to be nuts, right? And I want you to think of why you were turning to those. So now you've replaced it with dates, which is fine because the dates are never going to harm you. The sugar in dates is healthy.
Yes, I know it's beneficial, but at one point it can also be too much. Like too much of anything is not good.
No, well, yeah, but I mean, not with fruits, not really.
Yeah.
Like not really.
Yeah, I understand.
But what I want you to think about here is, are you using it as a comfort tool? Versus
sometimes as energy, as a sweet.
No, not energy. That's not a problem. Okay. Like if occasionally you're using it as a pick me up, that's okay. But are you using it instead of another comfort food? Because that would just mean it's a great first step, but it means you haven't gotten to the source of your discomfort, the original discomfort.
I'm not using it as a discomfort, but as a treat or as my dessert after my meal.
Okay, so you're using it as a reward.
Yeah, not reward, but it's like I like to have something sweet after the meal. So
okay, so why? So that's a programming. Why do you think you have to have something sweet? Says who?
I like it. Me. Says me.
Okay. So it's a habit. Okay, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I wouldn't worry about it too much. The only thing is if you're eating animal protein, right? So if your meal includes animal protein, in terms of digestion,
Yeah.
we have to separate animal protein from fruits, because if you eat fruits directly after a meal that has animal protein, any fruit, so dates or any other fruit, it's going to get stuck, because dates and fruits will typically go through your system in about 30-40 minutes. Animal protein takes about 3 to 4 hours, sometimes longer. So if you have a meal with animal protein, the vegetables are fine. The vegetables and the animal protein can digest together. Animal protein, you cannot digest typically fruits or like starchy vegetables like potatoes or sweet potatoes with it. Some people can, some people can't. Some people's digestive systems are strong enough and they can just put it together and nothing happens. For most people though, if you add fruit directly after animal protein, and this is also in your guide, ladies, it will cause some type of fermentation, because the fruits will get stuck. Instead of going through in 30 minutes, they're going to get stuck getting digested with the animal protein. And that can cause bloating, that can cause constipation, that can give you a headache, that can cause fatigue, and that can slow down weight loss if weight loss is one of your goals.
Okay, so it's also better not to eat potatoes or sweet potatoes with animal protein, right?
Yeah, same thing, but experiment with it. Some systems are able to do that. But if you feel you have those two combinations together, and usually what will happen is a very quick headache. That's one of the first signs. A very quick headache right after you eat is if you've mixed animal protein and a starch or a fruit. So you always want to keep your fruits 3 or 4 hours after animal protein, or have them about 30 minutes before you have animal protein.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Sally, go ahead.
Dana, I wanted to ask you about because I have a headache yesterday and today. Maybe yesterday it was more severe, but today I feel it's increasing, not lessening. So I'm not eating my vegetables at all. I mean, I cannot, I don't want to eat potato to spoil. I'm not nauseated very much, Yani. So I can just keep it to my apple and dates.
No, that's too little. No, that's too little. Eat your potatoes. They're not going to slow anything down. Potatoes are very, very healing, and they will actually help with headaches. Potatoes help to move toxins, and they help to move viruses out of the body. Like, there's no reason to worry or fear a potato. Have your potatoes.
Thank you so much, dear. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Let me see the Q&A. Hang on. Rania, is Lindt dark chocolate? Okay, no, none of the commercial dark chocolate in supermarkets, not Lindt, not Snickers, not Bounty, which used to be my absolute favorite. I would literally binge on like 5 Bounty bars at a time. Not Bounty, not Toblerones. I know we all love the big airport Toblerones. No, that doesn't mean you're not going to have them. Okay, I'm not saying you're not going to go and have them, but the question is, are they okay? No, they're not okay. They're full of sugar, full of additives, full of chemicals, full of synthetics, full of soy. They're full of everything. So even the ones that claim to be like the dark chocolate, okay, it might have less sugar, less milk, all of that, but it still has all the chemical. Like, go look at the list of ingredients on any chocolate bar, right? There's the colors, there's the preservatives, additives, the artificial flavoring, all of it. No. Rania, why it's not good to eat animal protein during lunch and better at dinner? It's not better. The only difference is if you are somebody who tends to get, hungry at night, or if you're worried about snacking before you sleep, when you eat animal protein at 6 or 7 p.m., it's going to keep you full until you sleep. Like, you're not going to feel like you need to eat anything else. But if you want to have it at lunch, no, go ahead. That's not a problem. Marianne, do you have a view on daily calorie count? No, this is completely outdated, completely mistaken. Calories are not created. What is it? They're not all created equally. Like, counting calories doesn't take into account nutrient density, right? So you could drink your smoothie in the morning, which is, I actually don't know how many calories it is, but let's just say 300, 400 calories. I have no idea. Your smoothie, right? But it's full of all of these vitamins and minerals and live hydration, all of these things that are good for you, but 400 calories. Or you could drink a Diet Coke, which is 0 calories, but the toxins in it eventually can give you cancer. So everybody that's going around counting calories, they're not taking into consideration that food is information. Your body is not, when you drink a Diet Coke or when you have a low-fat, I don't know, like these low-fat yogurt, or when you have like a rice cake because it's low in calories, your body is not saying, oh, okay, good, she only took in 50 calories with this rice cake. Your body's like, oh my God, this is a processed food. It's dry, dead, dumb carbohydrates. I have no use for it. It's going to raise blood sugar. It's going to overload the liver. It's going to eventually, if she keeps eating this way, lead to fatty liver. And so what if it's only 50 calories? So throw the whole calorie myth out the window, along with all the other myths. The reason they even came up with calorie counting was because of the introduction of processed foods, because on some level, even the food industry that's promoting these foods knows that you really cannot be eating these foods the way that you want. So when they created food labels for things that are not food, one of the things they had to include was like, right, here's how many, they created the whole calorie thing. Like, this is how many calories are in this. You can count, so you can balance your processed foods. But when you're eating fruits and vegetables, like, nobody thinks about calories. There's no list of ingredients on a package of apples or a kilo of grapes, right? When you're eating nutrient-dense foods, you never have to think of calories because there's nothing extra there, right? There's nothing, you don't have to worry about taking in extra. The body knows exactly what to do when you eat an apple. It knows exactly how to put that to use. It knows exactly what to do when you eat a banana. When you eat bread, cereals, cakes, cookies, junk, your body has no idea what to do with any of that. Zero, like it has no idea how to process that or even how to eliminate it. So the whole calorie counting was basically used as a way to support eating processed foods. So now that you're not eating processed foods, get rid of it. It doesn't work. It doesn't even make sense. All right. Rasha, you're here. Go ahead.
Yes, sorry, Dana, I couldn't come in the beginning. My
It's
friends
all
are
right.
downstairs, and okay, I have a few. I didn't listen to the beginning, so I'll probably ask you questions about that later. I have a few questions about celery juice. Do we have to stick to the 500 milliliters every single day, or can I take like 300, 250? Because it takes me quite some time to drink all that.
Yeah.
So are the amounts important? Or
the amounts are important. The amounts are important. I was going to say the only thing that you would change is you would increase. You would increase from 500 to double that if you want. But you want to stick with that. You want to stick with the celery juice. I mean, as much as I hate to use this comparison, it's like medicine, right? You have to take the dose.
Okay. And about omega-3, you didn't talk about that yesterday, about supplementation. Is that important? Because I know we need a lot of omega-3. Should we supplement? And if we should, what suggestions do you have? Because there are a lot of varieties of omega-3 in the market. So
yeah, not one of the things that I always recommend. Again, it's one of those things that's like recommended as a necessity, but not necessarily. When and if you take it, I recommend a vegan source, right? So instead of taking one that's like the fish oils and all of these things, you don't know the source of that. You don't know like where does the fish have mercury? Does the fish have all these other things? So at least if you're going to take omega-3, take a vegan type.
okay, and another question. I have a friend of mine, she's pre-diabetic. And so do pre-diabetic people, can they take like dates and stuff that have sugar?
100%.
And what type of diet should they be going through? Or is it just the elimination diet that we're doing?
This one.
Or is there something?
Yes. They do this exactly. Another myth that fruits lead to pre-diabetes or insulin resistance or diabetes, they absolutely do not. Nobody ever in the history of the world has gotten insulin resistance or pre-diabetes from eating just fruits. You get insulin resistance and pre-diabetes and diabetes from eating the processed sugar that your body can't recognize, which raises insulin, and then, the downstream domino effect of that. To correct that, you remove all the processed foods, and to an extent, consuming too much animal protein and too much animal fat has the same effect, believe it or not, on insulin as the processed sugars. So it's both of those things have to go. So your friend needs to come in and do this program. and tell
And the
your friends,
hypoglycemia, what
can eat-
about
no,
hypoglycemia? I'm
that
sorry.
doesn't happen from fruits. Never.
It
Does not-
doesn't?
Never
Okay.
happens from fruits. It happens from the processed carbs. We didn't eat the world did not have insulin resistance and pre-diabetes and all of this until the advent of processed foods. 300 years ago, you did not have diabetes, like 1 in like 500 people maybe had some type. People were not getting sick until the introduction of processed foods, bread, cereals, the big crops, corn, soy, the packaged food, the ready-made food, the junk food. This is how people get sick. If you take a baby today and feed it nothing but fruits and vegetables and animal protein, it's never going to get diabetes or pre-diabetes or never get sick or never get anything. It is what we're eating and the quantities that we're eating. And then the medical industry will have you believe that, you know, stay away from dates, stay away from grapes, stay away from mangoes. But how many dates and grapes and mangoes were you eating prior to your diagnosis? Probably 0, probably 1 fruit a day. So, and that's what most people do. They don't think that fruits are actually food. People will eat bread and cheese and rice and meat and all of these things and maybe have a banana per day, maybe. So how can something that you've eaten so little of to start with give you a disease? So no.
Okay.
Yeah.
My last question. What are your thoughts about bioidentical hormones?
No.
Why?
You don't need them. What's happening with you is you have an imbalance in your current hormones. And the imbalance is happening not because you're missing hormones, not because your body's not producing hormones, but because your hormones are getting the wrong information from the food that you're giving it. Food is information for your hormones and your organs and all of your body systems. So when you give the body the wrong information, it's going to malfunction. That's it.
But
So
if, for example, you have thyroid and you have a lack of the thyroid enzyme in your body, hormone in your body, and that's just that's just something that is your nature.
No, there's nothing that's in your nature. Thyroid has its roots in a viral condition. Typically, we find Epstein-Barr virus is the root cause of all thyroid conditions. And if the thyroid is not producing enough thyroid, it's because the thyroid is being attacked by a virus. And the reason the virus is there is because it's a very common virus. So many people have it. And even if you don't want to believe that, if you have a weak thyroid that's not producing enough thyroid, the solution is not to pump the body with thyroid. That doesn't fix the thyroid itself. So when people have a thyroid condition and they go and take thyroid medication, all that medication does is it pumps the thyroid into your bloodstream. It doesn't go into the thyroid to regenerate and rebuild your thyroid so that it can start to better produce hormones. Medicine can't do that. Only food can help your body regenerate, can help tissue regenerate. So you're not just, nobody's just like that. Nobody's just deficient in thyroid. Nobody's just deficient in estrogen. Like nobody just is just this. There has been some type of, let's call it a malfunction due to the intake of wrong information, because that's what your body's waiting for. It's waiting for you to give it fuel, waiting for you to give it information so all the systems can function. You don't have a thyroid issue because you're deficient in Eltroxin or whatever that thyroid medication is called. You don't have depression because you're deficient in Xanax. You don't have acid reflux because you're deficient.
But that's different. But that's different than medication. It's something that mimics the exact same hormones in your body.
No, what you want to do
sources.
is you want to find out why is my body not producing enough thyroid? Why is my body not producing or not balancing my estrogen? Why is my body doesn't have enough progesterone? You want to get to the root cause. And when you get to the root cause, the solution is toxicity, deficiency. That's it. Something you're taking in that's an overload of toxins and a deficiency in vitamins and minerals and nutrients. When you solve those two things, and I've seen it like hundreds of times, whether with my clients or clients of my health coaching colleagues all over the world, we get clients off their thyroid medication, get clients off any autoimmune medication. We get clients off their depression medication, off their arthritis medication, off their migraine medication, all of it. All you need to do is get to the root cause. Thing is, not everybody wants to get to the root cause. Most people just want to go through the easy route, like here, give me the medication. Let's just put a Band-Aid on it. And then, of course, the reason they do that is because the medical community is not versed at all at looking into root causes. Medical community, conventional medicine is all about, you have this disease, you take the red pill. You have this disease, you take the green pill. They never, very, very rarely look at the root cause. We're starting to get functional medical doctors right now who are starting to look at root causes and addressing nutrition and lifestyle, but no malfunction in the body ever happens because that's just the way it is. No, there's always a reason. And there's always a solution for the reason.
Okay, Dana, thank you so much for this program. Actually, you did great. I didn't think I was going to survive so long, but I did, and I'm continuing. Yeah, really. I always had like temptations and stuff. It's not like I'm such a bad eater, but I'm really proud of myself. I feel stronger.
Good.
I feel in control, which is
Yes.
something amazing. I still have that issue with the gas that's not going
That's
away.
okay.
But you said it might take a long time.
That might take, yes.
Yeah,
But I mean,
so,
so important what Rasha said. She's like, I'm so proud of myself. Like each one of you, right? And we'll do this next week in our celebration call, but each one of you should feel so, so proud of herself right now. Incredibly proud of yourself, because not only have you pushed yourself out of your comfort zone, you've pushed yourself out of your comfort zone in the middle of potentially people who did not support you, who didn't understand you, who criticized you, who mocked you.
yeah, that I got that a lot.
A lot, right? A lot. And you did
Yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah.
and you all did it anyways. So definitely.
But
yeah.
it really helped. Your support really, really helped. You being there all the time, and your videos, they did a ton of a difference. So thank you to that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure. Is that all, Rasha?
Yeah, that's all for now, I guess.
All right.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. Okay. Noher, go ahead.
How can I join January? I
Email me.
will read.
Yeah.
I
Email me.
you? Okay.
Yeah, those of
Okay,
you who want to
sure.
join, don't use the link that I'm sharing right now because the price has gone up a little bit. You guys get to keep the price you entered at. So if you want to join January, email me. I'll send you a separate invoice.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much.
You're
And
welcome.
my problem that it's resolved about the constipation. It's an amazing. I feel like Rasha, but sugar craving and constipation, I'm done. I'm
Amazing.
done.
Amazing.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Sada, go ahead.
Hi, Dana. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. I'm actually feeling fantastic. I started working out again.
Amazing.
And feel completely energized after having caught COVID, I think now maybe 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
I wanted to ask back to the thyroid issue because I actually know that I have the Epstein-Barr virus.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we discovered 3-4 years ago. I usually go once a year to my house doctor in Germany, in GP.
Okay.
So basically it's just keep going, right?
Yeah. With Epstein-Barr virus, it usually when you discover it, it's already been there for many years. So it's one of those things where most of us caught it sometime in our late teens or early adulthood, and then you catch it, and if you or you catch it either as a period of time, if you can recall, where you were extremely tired, extremely fatigued, or what we call mononucleosis, or it can enter the body through a strep throat infection. Those are the two typical ways. So if you recall that you're somebody who used to always get a lot of throat infections, and if you still do.
But I got one that was really bad.
Yeah. So what happens is once the virus enters the body, it doesn't really leave. It sort of enters, it goes through periods of activation and deactivation, but it's always still there. And that's why when you test for it, you might test and find that there's nothing there, or you might do a test that tells you you used to have it, but it's not currently active. And that's where some of the confusion happens. But in holistic health, we know that once you get it, unless you've taken the intentional steps to get rid of it using nutrition, unless you've done that, then we know it's there. And then definitely if you have a thyroid condition, any autoimmune condition, if you have a continuous strep throat, we know it's there. And what it does is it basically, it sort of like digs itself into your organs, specifically the liver. It loves to live in the liver. And obviously if you have a thyroid condition, it's also living inside your liver, your thyroid. So and then when you go and test for thyroid, that they call it an autoimmune because it looks like the thyroid is attacking itself. But actually what your thyroid is doing, it's attacking the virus, it's trying to kill off the virus inside it, but they don't know how to test for that. So the only way to get rid of Epstein-Barr is through nutrition. Like all viruses are living, like it's a living thing, right? It has to eat to survive. So what it loves to eat are all the toxic foods. So Epstein-Barr loves sugar, loves dairy, loves heavy metals. So mercury, copper, it loves medications, like all the toxins from medications. So the more you consume these foods, the stronger Epstein-Barr gets, the worse your symptoms get. And that's why, especially with thyroid, you see people who take the thyroid medication and they feel better for a little bit, and then they feel worse again, like nothing, it's not working. And that's because the issue is not the thyroid, the issue is the virus attacking the thyroid. So what you're doing right now is exactly what you need to do to starve Epstein-Barr. You're starving it. It hates everything that you're eating right now. With Epstein-Barr, though, we can never say with 100% certainty that you can get rid of it 100% out of your body. What we work towards is deactivating it. So deactivating it to the degree that it leaves your thyroid, where it allows, so instead of your thyroid fighting this virus and then becoming weak as a result, the thyroid can now function. And you know that through testing. But can you say, I'll be 100% free of Epstein-Barr? We really can't say that. And then the other thing is, the same way that you can starve it out and deactivate it, you can reactivate it, because there's always a little bit left, right? You can reactivate it again by refeeding it, which will then flare up your symptoms once more. So deactivating it to the extent where you can see a difference in your blood work, or to the extent that you are 100% symptom free, can take up to 6 months, sometimes 1 year, depending on how active and how much of the virus you have in your body.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Another question. I bought from Medical Medium, I had once read the wild blueberry powder. Do I add this to the smoothie?
If you don't have wild blueberries, which we don't here, then definitely I would recommend that. Yes, 100%.
And I got this mix which has, I don't know, Atlantic dulse and barley grass juice and spirulina. My issue with spirulina, it's so nasty. I find it horrible, and just even that it changes its color psychologically, I'm like, I can't. But I'm gonna get it.
Do less, start with less and build your way up to it. So yeah, I mean, it's horrible. It smells like rotten fish. So
it's horrible,
and then this feels like you're drinking rotten fish. Yeah, it's horrible. But start with like if it's supposed to be a teaspoon, I would literally start with 1/8 of a teaspoon, and then get used to that taste of 1/8 of a teaspoon. Maybe it takes you 2 weeks, maybe it takes you a month, and then add a little bit more. When you do it very, very gradually, you won't notice it eventually.
Okay, another question. I was low recently on ferritin, and I was always fine, maybe had a bit of a tendency, but recently I was, and I took an injection of ferritin, and the doctor had asked me to double check. Is that something that can improve with the right nutrition generally, or is that something that?
So this is, I don't know if was it yesterday or the day before, I was telling Marianne, typically, I've been reading recently that the whole issues with, sorry, with iron and ferritin, the root cause of that is not necessarily that your body doesn't have enough or you're not consuming enough. Iron and ferritin, they need copper to function properly. Like the same way that in order for your body to optimize calcium, also you need magnesium. Like you might be consuming a ton of calcium or taking your calcium supplements, but if you don't have enough magnesium, it won't work properly. So the same thing seems to be in the latest things I've read, that for ferritin and iron, it's copper. That's sort of the complementary, you need to have both of those together. So maybe go and test for your copper levels. That might be the fix that you need, is just to up your intake of copper or to take a copper supplement.
Okay, all right. And last question, is pomegranate molasses okay?
If it's pure, if it's like there's no added sugar to it and no sometimes they add thickeners to it, and sometimes it's not labeled as such, you would only know after you eat it and you feel the effects. But if it doesn't have any of those things, then yeah, I don't see why not occasionally. Yeah.
Okay, and generally just when I reintroduce something, then just do it once at a time, just to understand the effects of that on my body.
Exactly.
Okay.
Once, and then if it does give you, if it does trigger something, then leave it out for at least a week before trying it again.
Okay, all right. But generally, I mean, I've had fish for the first 3 days of the 9-day liver detox, and it's perfect. I mean, I feel it's fine. So, alhamdulillah.
Good, perfect.
Thank you so much, Dana. It was great, and I wish you a lovely holiday in advance.
Thank you. I'm still here, you guys. I'm still gonna be
online. I think we all feel like you're leaving, and that's
no. I'm just getting on a plane tomorrow, so I might disappear for a few hours tomorrow. But tomorrow morning I'm here. Tomorrow night I'll check in once I arrive, inshallah. And then the rest of the week is normal schedule for me. And then even the week after is normal schedule for me. It's December 15th is my official last day at work. We finish this program on the 11th, but obviously if you have questions for me after the 11th, between the 11th and the 14th, you have something going on, something happens, by all means, message me or email me. So December 15th is my actual last day at work, after which I'll be off social media, off email, off everything. So you have until then, and then we still have one more call together next week. So we still have one more opportunity to share.
Perfect. Thank you, Dana.
You're welcome. Nihed. If you're speaking, you want to unmute yourself? Okay. Inji, go ahead.
Hello, Dana.
Hi, how are
Sorry,
you?
didn't have sorry, I just was raising my hands.
Oh,
and I forgot.
okay. No problem. Sally, is that another question or your hand just still up?
I'm just wondering about the headaches, Yadana. Is this detoxing or this is?
Yeah, you have an autoimmune. So this is going to, this potentially could go in cycles for you, where there's the headache and then it clears up and then you're fine. And then maybe next week, there might be another flare up of a headache. This is the nature of healing from autoimmune. Yeah.
Yeah. But it doesn't have anything to do with the way I eat.
Well, today you mentioned you didn't have a lot of food either, right? So that might be, if anyway your body's healing and there's a detox symptom, which is a headache, it's not going to be helped by you not eating enough. Let's put it that way.
Okay, but I drink. I make sure I drink plenty of water.
You want to have that fuel. You want to have the sugar from the fruits. You want to have the vitamins. You want to have the minerals.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. Sada, is that your hand still up or another question? No.
Yes, sorry, it was still up.
No worries. All right. Anybody else? Any other questions for me today?
Can I say something?
Oh, yes, there you are, Nihed. Go ahead.
Okay.
So it's my first time to be joining live. I'm really very glad to be among you, and every time I watch the videos when I get back home in the evenings, and I'm about to reply sometimes or write something, and then this is just a video and it's recorded, it's not the real live one.
Yeah.
So now I just took the chance and I said, okay, I have this few minutes in between, so I can come and cheer up and say I love you all, and I'm really enjoying this journey a lot.
Oh, we love you too, everybody. How nice. She came in here just to tell us that. Oh, thank you.
The main reason I joined this journey basically is that I felt at a certain point of time that I need to more connect with myself and more connect to my inner self, more connect to God through food. And I was always finding that food is not what I'm eating is not really what makes me connected. It always makes me disconnected to myself. And I was looking really for something, and I was always following you, Dana, and reading what you've been sending. And this is my main reason. And I remember that you wrote at the very beginning and said, guys, you need to write down why are you joining this program? Because at any point of time, if you feel that you are weak, just remember why you joined.
Yep.
And I wrote that down. And actually, sometimes I'm weak, but I didn't let go up till now. Alhamdulillah. Yeah.
And is it starting to happen for you? Are you starting to feel that connection? Are you is your
yes a lot, and especially that what I've been eating, except for the too much green without other green things, is annoying. And if only the 6 days is a bit annoying. But if when the 6 days are finished, I know that I can eat them with other things I love as vegetables as well. And I found that what I'm eating makes more sense to me. What that I love dates a lot. I love nuts a lot. I love coconut. I love olive oil a lot. I although I love cheese, but I can give it up. يعني عارفة اللي هو these kind of food that are the simple foods that we eat in Egypt, because I consider Egyptians are vegetarian, but in the wrong way. So I'm into this type of food. Bloating is still there. Yesterday it was again, but less, much less.
Good.
And I was waiting for it. يلا بقى. I was waiting for the bloating to happen. It took less time to overcome it than before. I got used to the program to the extent that I don't know if I'm doing it correct or not. Today, when I weighted myself on the scale, I found myself back again to the same weight I started with. So I don't know if it was bloating still there or I didn't lose weight, but actually I wanted to have a lifestyle.
Yes.
I didn't want to have only losing weight. I need to lose weight in general for my body, for my shape. Because I'm not the perfect body shape, but I think it will come. So this,
No, go ahead and finish.
So these are the things which are happening to me. My family, they were watching. They were not anti, but they became supporting, and they started to be proud. My daughter is very much supporting. My daughter-in-law, Taban, she was joining me on the journey, Alina.
Yes.
And the whole family, I consider them on the positive side. And I'm doing fine with this. The only thing is that I'm not sure that I'm doing it right. I always have this kind of critics or self-critics that am I doing it right or wrong? And especially today, when I didn't find the skill is back again. I thought that maybe I'm not doing it right. Maybe I need to do something different. Maybe I overate of something. This was the only worry point for me. Basically, yesterday I had the whole day with the first 6 days, the vegetables, and then I said no, I need to have something which make me take it more. Actually, I added tahinis, as you said, and we had the bitingan, fried aubergine, not fried. It's in the oven actually with olive oil. It was not fried. It was in the oven. I just took pieces with the salad and the tahini, and I enjoyed the salad actually. This was the thing which I came out from the schedule, as you're saying. Going into other things of the face and the facial treatment and how to use everything organic, I think it will be coming on the way.
Yes.
Yani, I need because I would like to embrace this kind of holy. I'm considering it's a holy journey actually, because it's very much connected to the real nature of life and to the creation of God and to fitra actually. So it's very much connected to fitra. I felt that with going to these such natural things, I'll be more connected to the fitra and to the real self of myself. Yeah, but I think it will come by time. Basically, that's what I wanted to share with you.
Oh, thank you for that. Yes, I mean, what have we done, ladies, except just go back to nature? That's what we've done. We've just reconnected simply back to nature. We removed all the fluff, removed all the excess, removed all the noise and the chatter that we hear from media and marketing, and we've just gone back to the basics. When you think about it, you've just gone back to the basics. Fruits, vegetables, animal protein. Like, it doesn't get more basic than that. It doesn't get more simple than that. Some of you are tweaking maybe how much animal protein, what type of animal protein. But if you just like take it all down to the basics, that's what we've done. It's just gone back to nature, reconnecting with who we are as you know, as coming from nature ourselves. And that includes what you eat and includes what you put on your skin. So it is so important what Nihad has said today. You know, maybe you've on some level, you know that that's what you're doing, but like she's so eloquently today sort of packaged it up and saying like, yeah, that's what we've done, is gone back to ourselves. You're going back to, you might not have noticed it, but there is a level of spirituality. And in holistic healing, when we talk about healing, when we talk about food, what you consume, we talk about two types of food. We talk about primary food and we talk about secondary food. Secondary food is what you eat, whatever it is, good or bad, what you put in your body. And it's secondary. Primary food is everything that feeds your soul. And primary food is your relationships. It's what brings you joy. It's your spirituality. So spirituality is a big part of how you feed your soul. And if you're feeding your soul, trying to feed your soul, but at the same time, you're adding all this artificial, fake, inflammatory foods, it's hard to tap in to your soul. It's hard to tap into your spirituality. It's hard to tap into your passions, your joy, finding your passion, finding your joy, having a mutually supportive relationship. What you're doing now is rebuilding internally on such a high level and reconnecting to nature, even if you never thought of it until this moment when Nihad said it. That's what you're doing here. That's what you've been doing. And it's so important to keep that process going. Just to answer a couple of your points, Nihad, the weight, I tell all of you, throw out the scales, right? The weight tells you nothing about your spirituality, tells you nothing about your happiness, tells you nothing about your energy or your joy or your symptoms. It's a random number on a little machine. And actually, scientifically, we don't actually know with 100% accuracy how much anybody should weigh exactly. We don't actually know that. These are all theories, believe it or not, the BMI and all that, they're just theories. So, and what happens when you start a program like this is when you consume a lot of fruits and vegetables, they're so full of water that your body's going to hold on to this hydration. That's why some of you haven't lost weight. That's why some of you are gaining weight. It's not because you're doing anything wrong, Nihad, at all. So don't question what you're doing, especially when you feel like your important why is being fulfilled. So that's being fulfilled. That's your answer as to whether you're doing this right or wrong. And 100% you're doing it right. But what happens though, there is a little technicality here. When you are consuming foods that are so high in hydration that your body has been missing, because nobody coming into this program was ever eating this amount of fruits and vegetables. So you were missing crucial hydration that can only come from fruits and vegetables. Now that you're taking it in, your body on some level still doesn't trust that this is going to be a normal thing and that you're going to be doing this forever. It feels like on some level, maybe this is another experiment for her. Maybe this is just another diet that she's trying. But it's so happy with this hydration that's finally coming in, and it's so vital that it's just going to hang on to it. It's going to hold on to it for a while. And then the longer you keep doing this, and the longer the body then starts to trust you that this is not a temporary process, it's not just a quick fix that she's doing, it will release the hydration it's holding on to, because it trusts that you're going to keep giving it that hydration on a daily basis. It doesn't need to hoard it anymore. All right, Nihed? So absolutely, just keep doing what you're doing. You're not doing anything wrong. You are healing. You are deeply connected to your why. You're seeing the results of that, and that is more important than the number on the scale.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Inji, can we eat tahina during the 6 days as well? If you're doing the deep detox, no. What I have done as a variation to keep myself eating just vegetables, but I'm not really doing the deep detox, is I will do just a non-stop eating vegetables, and I'll have tahina with it. So I make it sort of how I do my kind of a detox, kind of clean eating, in order for me to go for more than 6 days. So like if I want to do a month of just vegetables, then I'll do a month of just vegetables with the tahina on it, so that it doesn't become boring, doesn't become cumbersome, I don't get thrown off. I will do a month of just vegetables, and it's exciting because I get to drizzle tahina on it. So you can do it that way. Sally, you have another question for me. Nope. Sally and Nihed, if your hands are up for another question, let me know. Otherwise, put them down. Sally, your hand is still up. Can you unmute yourself? Are you speaking without being unmuted?
Sorry, Dana.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been actually, I got confused now. The headache is making me unfocused, so I can.
It's all right. It's all right.
Get it back again.
Okay. No worries. No worries. Okay, Nahla, go ahead.
Yes, Dana. Back to those 2 days where I will be out. Unfortunately, I don't think they have juices or whatever we need, like fresh juices and stuff like that. So can I keep eating on those days, like apples, bananas, and celery sticks instead?
Are you going to be out, like you're not gonna go home at the end of the day, like you're out?
No. I'm going to Salah Shish.
Okay. All right. So if you can prep a few things ahead of time, and in terms of juices and smoothies, and freeze them and take them with you. Otherwise, what I would do is.
But I don't think there would be, like, it's only a mini bar. It will not be a freezer, you know.
Oh, well, that's okay.
So,
I mean, you can take them, and then they can defrost in the fridge for 24 hours or 48 hours. And that'll be, as long as you have them in airtight jars, that'll work.
Okay.
So that's an
this
option.
would work for the celery and the smoothie?
And the smoothie. And if you want to also do juices and take them with you, it'll work for those also.
Okay.
If you want, like, if you just want to have easy, but otherwise, yeah, if you
for the first day, yeah, I will try to prepare in flasks, which will keep the temperature, and they will be okay. Yeah. But my worries was for the second day.
Then just keep a lot of fruits on hand. Yeah, if that's what you want to snack on, keep a lot of fruits on hand, like the easiest fruits for you to munch on and to snack on. You know, grapes are really easy.
And I think you said I can go with the cucumber.
Yes.
With ginger.
Yes.
Yeah, because maybe this is, I can I do like infusion water and I take them from there, or
yeah,
or what? I can take them as such.
Yes, you can do that.
Okay. Actually, here it's very difficult to, when you go out, to find whatever you need from these fresh things. Very few places here they provide this stuff.
Yeah. It takes a bit of planning. I mean, you can order some things ahead of time before you go. And always the first time you find yourself in this situation after you've changed how you're eating, it's always feels like a little bit like chunky and just like glitchy and like it's not working and like you're not sure how to handle it. But you once, twice, 3 times after that, you're going to get into the rhythm of it. You'll understand exactly, like, if I'm going away for a weekend, here's what works. Here's where I can pick up ready-made things. Here's where I can take things ready-made. Here's where I won't be able to take things ready-made. So you'll be able to figure that out. But the first time is always a little bit, you know, it's going to throw your mind off a little bit, which is normal. But as long as you take the step to overcome that, and it's like, right, I'm at least going to prepare and take with me the first day, at least, right? That's a step.
This is what I'll do. Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much, Dana, for everything.
You're very welcome.
You really inspired us all, and you pushed us all, and you made us strong.
Thank you. I'm so happy to hear that. And I mean, all of you should be very proud of yourselves, but I'm also very, very proud of you guys. Incredible job. I have to say, with this group, I haven't had a group where usually in my groups, I'll have 1 or 2 ladies who have a really hard time with the symptoms, maybe just one. Most people just sort of have like the basic headache, fatigue. But this group, I was like, oh my God, so many of you had the hard, difficult detox symptoms, but I was like completely blown away by your dedication, despite the feelings of discomfort, the nausea, some of you throwing up. Like, you have literally just like, I don't know, it's amazing that you have persevered so that you can get out on the other side. And I don't know what it was, this group, it was just, you know, coincidence. It was just a test for me, a test for all of us. Like, well, how am I going to manage that many women who are going through all these symptoms? But I'm so happy and so proud of all of you. It's just a testament really to, this is your willpower, right? So like, so many of you think you don't have willpower around food, you don't have willpower around this or that. Like, you can never say that you don't have willpower again, ever, right? All of you, whether you have the strong symptoms or you have the mild symptoms, none of you can ever go out into the world again and say, I can't. Never. You've proved it to yourself. You proved it to all the ladies here. You've supported each other. You've proven it to me. Like, the 2 words, I can't, should never be part of your vocabulary again, because you have completely knocked it out of the ballpark, as they say. Amazing, amazing, amazing ladies. All right. Have an incredible rest of your day. I'm still here, answer questions, all of that. No video tomorrow and no video all of next week. We have our last celebration video Wednesday of next week. If you want to join the January round, please email me so I get you set up for that. Otherwise, use next week to go back and rewatch. Maybe you missed sessions. Maybe you watched some sessions and you weren't completely focused. Take that time to rewatch, to reabsorb, to relearn, to see if there's any questions that you have. Take that time to look at the posts on the group, see what you want to copy paste, take a snapshot of, maybe something you missed, you have another follow-up question for. Keep me updated on what's happening with you. What are symptoms are subsiding. New things might creep up, totally normal. We have all that time together in the next week to do that. All right, ladies, have an amazing day, and I will see you all on Wednesday in 1 week, inshallah. Bye.